Now what happens is, it's starting life. Om Namo Narayana. Shiva killed one Asura, Rakshasa. His name was Gajasura. And Ganapati, in his Balaswarupam, killed another elephant. His name was Gajamukhasura. When we share the story of Ganesha, people have some questions about somebody was asking like, क्या शिव को पता नहीं था कि गणेश उनका पुत्र था? When we say putra, Parvati's putra is his son. So unka putra tha, didn't Shiva know that? Okay, now many times what the Ishwaras do is for the well-being of the whole creation at large. There was this Asura who took a boon after intense tapasya, who took a vardhan after intense tapasya, that he should, like all the Asuras that we see, most of them, they have this desire to live forever. They don't want to die in the physical form. They don't want their bodies to come to an end in death. They want to have immortality in the body. There are Chiranjeevis. They're born naturally to parents and they have lived. They are exceptions to the rule. If you say that Brahma or Shiva, they don't usually give such a vardhan, such a boon. What they do is they ask for something else, and then the asuras give a list of how they don't want to die. So here what happens is Gajamukhasura asks the boon that I am okay, that I should die, I should be killed, or I should die. That's what he asks. And it's the same thing by a kid that's not born of a father. So it's a kid who's born only by one parent, that is only by the mother, number one. And that kid should be killed by the father figure. Father figure is, in this case, it is Shiva. Father figure, and he should have a head like mine, that is elephant. And he presumed that this is never ever going to happen, and he would be immortal. Now, it is because of this Vardhan that Ganapati or the Parvati Kaya Putra, Shiva Atma Putra came into existence and came to be alive. And we know the story of how Shiva beheaded him with his Trishulam, and it was replaced by the head of the sleeping baby elephant that was killed for this purpose, that was sacrificed for this purpose. The elephant whose head was facing the south, whose head was in the southern direction. Now this is the Leela of Shiva. Otherwise, this had Ganesha not been born, has this kid not been in the form of Ganesha with the Gajamukha, that Asura would never have been killed. So now the first name that we are going to chant is Om Gajasura Vadhaya, which is a name of Shiva, the god who killed Gajasura. Om Gajasura Vadhaya Namaha. 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 Floyd, we'll start with you. Can't hear you, Floyd. Okay, looks like there's some problem possibly with Floyd's mic. Shamika, Om Gajasura Vadaya Namaha for 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Om Gajasuravadhaya Namaha. 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 Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Baba. Shamika. Thank you. The next name that we are going to chant now is of Lord Ganesha. Om Gajamukha Asura Vadaya. You can chant it as Vada, Vad Karna. But sometimes my Dha comes into prominence. Om. This is the name of Lord Ganesha. Om Gajamukha Suravadaya Namaha. 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 Now, Samida.
Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana.
Om Gajamukhasuravadhaya Namaha. 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 Om गजमुखासुरवधाय नमः। ॐ गजमुखासुरवधाय नमः। ॐ गजमुखासुरवधाय नमः। ॐ गजमुखासुरवधाय नमः। ॐ गजमुखासुरवधाय नमः। ओम नमो नारायण।
Thank you, Samida. Om Namo Narayana. Now, the next name that we are going to chant is when Lord Ganesha had a situation with sage Shri, the Lord Rama. He threw his axe and Ganesha just defended only by broke the tusk into half. And it is with that tusk that all the great epics were written when by Lord Ganesha at the instruction and dictation of Vedavyasa Maharshi. So the name that we are going to chant now is Om Ekadantaya Namaha. 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 Alex, Om Ekadantaya Namaha for 2 minutes.
I'm on the bus actually, David. Maybe someone else should today.
Yes.
Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Samhita, Floyd, Gagan, Rashri.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
ॐ एकदन्ताय नमः। 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 Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rashri. So yesterday we saw why Ganesha is called Sada Bala Rupaya. Now, and when we look at his face, what do you observe? That it's a very pleasant, childish face. That's the first thing. The second thing is you see that he has a tusk that is broken. Okay, so he's considered to having only one full tusk and one is a broken tusk. And the third thing that you're going to see, we also spoke yesterday about what is the significance of the trunk turned on which side. So now we'll chant Om Vakratundaya Namaha. You are never going to see the face of Ganesha where the trunk is straight down. It's either to the left or to the right. It's curved to one side. So it is called Vakratunda, curved. Om Vakratundaya Namaha. 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 Shinjini, Om Vakratundaya Namaha for
Om
2
Namo
minutes.
Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana.
Om Vakratundaya Namaha. 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 Om Vakratundaya Namaha.
Thank you, Shinjini. Now, one of the names of Ganesha is Gana Pratamane, the first among the Ganas. So not only he is the Ganadyaksha, and the Ganadyaksha is the boss, the leader of the Ganas. He is also called Gananatha. He is also known as Gana Pratamane, the first among all of the Shiva Ganas. Om Ganapratamane Namaha. 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 Ratnam, will you please chant?
Om Ganapatay. What is it? Ganapati?
Gana Pratamane Namaha. Prathama,
Okay.
first.
Pratama.
The-
Okay.
Yeah.
Om Ganapratamane Namaha. 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 ॐ गणप्रतमने नमः। 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 ॐ गणप्रतमने नमः।
Thank you, Ratnam. Now, along the same line is Om Priya Sakhaya Namaha. When we say Priya Sakhaya, there are two aspects to this. One is the Gana's one and only idol, hero, the one and only Lord is Shiva. So, we call people in the same path and people who are close to each other as Sakha. Sakha means friends, like Krishna and Sudama, Sakha, close pals. Now he's called the Priya Sakhane. So he's the Priya of the Ganas, and also for all of us who look up to Shiva and Parvati as our father and mother. Jagadav Pito Vande Parvati Parameshwara we say. So it is the mother is Ma Parvati and the Pita is Parameshwara. When we look at him, he is like a close pal to us, someone who stands with you, someone who shares his time with you, his resources with you, his wisdom with you. Om Priya Sakhane Namaha. 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 Now today, both Gagan and Alex are not in a position to chant. So will one of you chant on their behalf?
Can I, sir?
Please go ahead. Om Priya Sakhane Namaha.
Namaha. Om Priya Sakhane 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 Namaha. Om प्रियसखने नमः। ॐ प्रियसखने नमः। ॐ प्रियसखने नमः। ॐ प्रियसखने नमः। Thank you, sir. So you're on mute.
Thank you, Rashri. The last name that we are going to chant for today of Lord Ganesha is Om Uchchista Mahaganapataye Namaha. Now, Uchchista Mahaganapati is the only form of Tantra Ganapati, and he is called Uchchista Mahaganapati. Like Mahaganapati, he's also a name that has Maha attached to it. So he's a mighty Lord. He's a great God. Om Uchchista Mahaganapataye Namaha. 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 Now, one of you who can chant with spashtata, with good diction clarity, on behalf of Gagan. Yes, Samida, go ahead.
ॐ उच्चिष्टमहागणपतये नमः। 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 ॐ उच्चिष्टमहागणपतये नमः।
Thank you, Samita. Now, the last name that we're going to chant now, because we have chanted Uchista Mahaganapati, on the left thigh of Uchista Mahaganapati, you will always find seated his beloved, his hot throb, that is Devi Vinayaki. So we'll chant this last name of Ganesha. Om Vinayaki Priyane Namaha. 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 Now, if Floyd is not unmuting himself, one of you, Shinjini, will you be able to chant? You will be able to chant.
Yes, please repeat it once.
Om Vinayaki Priyane Namaha. Vinayaki is Vinayaka's form, consort, when he is in the form of Uchista Mahaganapati.
Okay.
She's seated on his left leg, left thigh, beside him. He holds her and she's Vinayaki. Go ahead.
Om Vinayaki Priyanaya Namaha.
Vinayaki Priyane.
Priyane. Okay.
Beloved of Vinayaki. Yeah.
Priyane Namaha. Om Vinayaki 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 Priyane Namaha. Thank you.
Thank you, Shinjini. Now, the last name that we are going to chant is once again that of Arunachala for a minute, minute and a half. And then we'll close the chanting. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. 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 Achaleshwara, Aruna Achaleshwara, Aruna Achaleshwara, Shambho Shankara, Hara 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 Mahadeva. Om Namo Narayana. Thank you. Thanks all of you for joining us. Now, before we close the session, I will just share a little bit about what uh, Shinjini had asked yesterday. That is, in the north side of India, we believe that Saraswati is the goddess of poetry, music, and education. Yes, we have already discussed about the the Ishwaras, right? The source of everything is the three Ishwaras. But there are also lots of Devis and Devatas. Each of them can bless you with some of this resource of the Ishwaras. Eventually, the source is Ishwara, the Ishwaras, of course. Here, when we say she's Ma Saraswati, Maha Saraswati, she's the goddess of education. Yes, she is known as the goddess of Vidya. There is no doubt to it. But if you guys have heard, I'm sure you guys would have heard the name Vidya Lakshmi. It's a very, very common name in the south of India. In the southern states, you will find a lot of girls are named Vidya Lakshmi, Vara Lakshmi. So, what is Vidya Lakshmi? So, is it that the same education or a different education or the two different gods for education? It's not like that. Yes, Saraswati will bless you with good academics, with good education, with good academic knowledge, and good academic ability to have good academic performance. Now, Ma Lakshmi, when she blesses you with Vidya, what is the difference? Here, for example, when you're blessed by Ma Saraswati, this is my take on it. There'll be a lot of people who will differ on it, and that is fine. When you're blessed with Ma Saraswati's blessings for Vidya, you're going to see that you excel in academics. You have that innate ability to listen, to write down something, to retain that memory, and to perform in an examination, do well in putting it across and repeating it. And then what sort of Vidya is Mata Mahalakshmi blessing you with? That I think is practical learning. Sometimes you see that there are a lot of people who are not great at academics, but they turn out to be very, very successful in life. They may not have done PhDs, MBAs, and whatnot. They may be drop out from schools, colleges. Some people may be very, very educated to the basic, like they just know to read and write, how to sign, how to count. But then you would have found them to be very, very successful in life. They have that knowledge, that Vidya of practicality, of doing things practically, of being able to look, observe, and evolve, and again use it for their growth, for being their best in certain field. They're naturally blessed. That is Vidya. In the same way, when it comes to poetry, when it comes to hasya, that is humor, I was telling you, like Lord Ganapati loves humor. Now he is a god of humor. We call him Hasya Ganapati. In the same way, when it comes to poetry also, it is Ma Saraswati, who is the god or goddess of the written skills. So poetry is one of them. At the same time, if you see Kaviratna Kalidasa, there is a very, very, very popular somebody who has done a humongous body of work. He has a humongous body of work to his credit. That is Kalidasa. His name is Kaviratna Kalidasa. Nobody knows his actual name because he is known by the name Kalidasa, the Dasa, the slave of Kali, the follower of Kali, the devotee of Kali. You know? So this is the story of Kalidasa in Ujjain. He was a very good-looking, very handsome man. The prince saw him and liked him and she wanted to marry him. The king made it happen. But it is only when they got married, and then when he opened his mouth, she learned how rustic he was, how illiterate he was, and how much he had the lacking of fine skills of communication or whatever. So she wanted to get rid of him. This is what happens when people fall in love without much interaction and without knowing each other very well. But they don't take time to know each other, and when they proceed, the disappointment hits in very hard. Kalidasa wants to please her. So he does what she suggests him to do. Lord, the goddess Gadkalika is the goddess of the town of Ujjain. So it is said that every night she goes out of her temple, moves around the city, the town, and she goes back into the temple before the dawn sets in, early morning happens, the sun rises. So she tells you, go to this temple, seek the blessing of Kali, and close the door of the temple when she goes out. And when she comes back, don't open, and take the boon from her for you to evolve as a better, a literate, a well-spoken, a soft-spoken, having great etiquette, having great articulative skills, having good articulation, great articulation. So poor chap believes her, and once he's hiding there, once Ma Kali leaves the temple, he goes and closes the temple. The temple still exists. When you go to Ujjain, that's one place you should go to. And when Ma Kali comes back, he doesn't open the door. Now we need to understand she's Kali Mata. She is Shakti herself. There's nothing beyond her. Shiva and Shakti. So when she comes back, because he doesn't open the door, she asks him, what is it that you want? Then he says, I want you to bless me. When he says this, he's not willing to open the door. So Kali asks him to put out his tongue through a gap in the door. He does that, and she writes on her tongue. And when he opens the door, the first thing that comes out is Ma Kali's stuti. So this way we see, yes, there is one Devi or Devata we believe to be a certain thing, but it's not that the other Ishwaras can't do it or should not do it. So he's called Kaviratna Kalidasa. So with this, I would like to close for today. If there is anybody who would like to say anything, you're welcome to talk. You are welcome to share. And then we'll close the session. Om Namo Narayana. So only Floyd has unmuted himself. I think there is some problem with Floyd's mic from the beginning. I am unable to hear.
Can you hear me now?
Now, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think what you said about education, no? This mostly the people, there is a speaker called KB Jinan from Bangalore. So I will enjoy his talks, He talks about, he says, the educated learns the word, the illiterate learns the word, the illiterate learns the world.
Yes.
So it is like, he explains how the education system is all messed up and how it conditions people. And most of these people, I think, even the Navnats or you take any of the pioneering people, mostly they were not, like formally educated or that kind of thing. Even these guys who made Google and Apple and Facebook and all. So I think somewhere there's a big issue. So he is doing some kind of research where schooling should be completely, free and not about what do you say?
Not subjected to compulsory formal education. I think that's what it
Writing
was.
and
That
all
convey
that
his
sort of
video
thing.
or
Yeah.
article or something. I went through it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you that. I'm supposed to talk to him one of these days because he needs some help with writing a book, some of the
Okay.
tech things. So let's see what he says. But his work is good. I think nobody is thinking on these lines. Osho also wrote something called Revolution on Education.
Hmm. Yeah, who shows a visionary, and he was wise.
Hmm.
He was blessed with both wit and wisdom. No?
Hmm.
Hmm.
But
So
this Osho, why did he any reason why he did not get into mantras or Sanatan Dharma things?
okay. Many of the times we know only a particular aspect of a person's life. We will not know many other aspects. I have heard that Osho belonged to the Kapali clan, not the Kapali Parampara.
Achha.
Now, did he? I don't know. Did he have a Kapal? Na? And did he have that Patra?
Hmm.
I don't know. But it is believed that he belonged to that particular this one.
Achha.
So sometimes we don't always speak everything, right? And
Hmm.
we don't portray who we are completely. And it's not necessary either. It's not essential. Sometimes the world isn't up to it. Now your society is not up to it. Like there is so much of misconception about all of this. The spiritual aspects of life, the occult aspect of life, the the mysterious sides of life, where you logic, uh, plain logic, the conventional logic can't explain. So I don't know, but I did hear from someone or I read it somewhere that he belonged to the Kapali
So it is a
uh,
tantric thing,
parampara.
or what is it?
Hmm?
Is it a tantric sampradaya?
Yeah, Kapali, it is a Shaiva, what you call parampara, and these people have that kapal from which they eat their food. Whatever they eat from that. But there is always exceptions, isn't it? So maybe he was from that background. He changed,
Yeah.
or maybe continued with it, and it's not common knowledge. I don't know. But this is something that I heard somewhere or I read somewhere. I can't remember exactly.
Achha.
But probably if someone does a little research, they might find some uh, references to this or something about it.
Yeah, he had a lot of contradictions. Like he said, people should be free and not like it sounded like he didn't support marriage, but he himself got all his siblings married. So
Yes,
that kind of
that's
lot
what
of
that is human nature
Mm.
to have everything within them. Very few people are able to what you call live with that contradictions openly, and Osho was one of them. Osho
Mm.
said there is no God. I don't believe in God. But just look at his work, the amount of work he has done in regards with Krishna, in regards
Yeah.
with Ram, in regards with Shiva.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's amazing the body of work that
I
he has
met
created.
I met this about God. People say he was not into temples and all that, but he had three very significant visits to Khajuraho.
Hmm.
And he said that I met his disciple called Swami Ganga. He's 85, 90 now. I met
Hmm.
him and he said 3 times he came. And Swami Ganga, at that time, he was whatever other name, but Swami Ganga was his sort of guide.
Hmm.
So he shared, and he said Osho used to go and sit for hours in that, what is that, Vishwanath temple in Khajura.
There is no Shiva temple there, and
Yeah.
I heard from some. I can't remember. I don't have any sources for any of this, so I don't like to talk much about it. That he had even visited the Yogini's temple.
Yeah. He used to spend a lot of
He
time
used to spend a lot of time at the Yogini temples. Yeah.
and Swami Rama also used to stay in the Yogini temple. He stayed there for a long time to do some sadhana. And Osho mainly used to sit in Vishwanath temple. And then he used to
Yeah,
come
correct.
outside and lie down near that Nandi, big Nandi. He used to lie down in that place in Shavasana. And then he used to also go to all the temples. He would every day make a round from outside or just entering. He would do a darshan and then go.
And it's not one time. He has proclaimed multiple times that
Yeah.
he believes that there is no God. I am.
Yeah.
Na? So we believe Shivoham, 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 or Aham Brahmasmi. The same thing. Na?
Yeah.
Floyd, I'll take leave for today
Yes.
because I have to go out
Yeah.
for dinner.
Okay,
And I
good.
don't have my car. It's gone for service. So need to get a taxi, go somewhere.
Oh, okay, sir. See you then. Yeah.
See you, Baba. Thank you, Floyd. Namo Narayana, Namo Narayana Samhita. Thank you for joining us, Gagan, Rajshri, Ratnam, Shamika. All of you.
Thank you, sir.
We'll
Om
see you
Namo
tomorrow
Narayana.
9 p.m. Yeah. Om Namo Narayana Baba. Thanks.
Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana Samhita.